The night shift at Sector 9 facility was always quiet. Too quiet. Eli Carter walked down the long metal hallway with a cleaning cart beside him. The white lights above flickered softly, making shadows stretch across the floor like thin fingers. Eli had worked here for 3 years, yet the place still felt cold and empty, like it did not want humans inside it. Most people left before midnight. Eli stayed. He was just a maintenance worker. No badge with power. No office. No name anyone remembered. He fixed doors, cleaned floors, and stayed out of the way. That was the rule. Humans who asked questions here did not last long. Eli stopped walking when he saw something on the floor. A toy. It was small and made of metal. A little dragon with wings and sharp edges, painted blue and silver. One wing was broken, hanging by a thin piece of wire. Eli frowned. "This place doesn't have kids," he whispered to himself. He picked it up carefully. The toy felt warm, not cold like metal should be. That was strange. He turned it in his hand, then heard something that made his heart stop. A sound. Soft. Broken. A cry. Eli looked around. The hallway was empty. No guards. No drones. Just the low hum of machines behind the walls. The cry came again. It was not human. Eli followed the sound slowly, each step careful. He moved past a storage door that was slightly open. Inside, the lights were dim. Crates were stacked high, and cables covered the floor like sleeping snakes. Behind one crate, something moved. Eli held his breath. Then he saw it. A small dragon child. It was no bigger than a large dog. Its scales were dark red with faint golden lines that glowed softly. Its wings were folded tight against its body. Smoke curled gently from its nose as it cried. The dragon child was holding something close to its chest. Another toy piece. Eli's heart started pounding. Dragons were real. Everyone knew that, but they were not supposed to be here. Not in the open. Dragons owned companies, cities, even planets, but they stayed hidden, wearing human shapes, controlling everything quietly. And this was a child. The dragon looked up. Its eyes met Eli's. Bright gold, wide with fear. The cry stopped. For a long moment, neither of them moved. Eli knew the rules. Dragons were not to be touched, not spoken to, not helped. A human interfering with dragon matters could disappear forever. But the dragon child trembled. Its claws dug into the floor. Smoke came faster from its nose, not angry, just scared. Eli swallowed. "It's okay," he said softly. The dragon did not move, but it did not run either. Eli slowly knelt down. He placed the broken toy on the floor between them. The dragon's eyes locked onto it. "I think this is yours," Eli said. The dragon child crawled forward and grabbed the toy quickly, pulling it back to its chest. Then it looked at the broken wing and made a sad sound. Eli felt something twist inside him. He reached into his work bag. Inside were tools, cloths, and a small tube of industrial glue. Strong stuff, used for broken panels and cracked cables. Eli hesitated. Helping the dragon was already dangerous. Doing more could be deadly. Then the dragon child sniffed and pressed the broken wing against the toy, trying to fix it with shaking claws. Eli sighed. "Well," he whispered, "that won't work like that." He slowly held up the glue so the dragon could see it. The child tilted its head, confused but curious. Eli reached out carefully. The dragon did not move away. With steady hands, Eli glued the broken wing back into place. He held it for a few seconds, then let go. The toy was whole again. Eli handed it back. The dragon stared at it. Then it made a soft, happy sound and hugged the toy tightly. The glow in its scales grew brighter. Then something happened that made Eli freeze. The dragon stepped closer and gently touched Eli's hand with its claw. Not sharp, careful, trusting. Eli smiled without thinking. That was when the alarm sounded. A low warning hum spread through the facility. Red lights flashed once, then stopped. Eli's smile vanished. "Oh," he whispered. The dragon child looked around, scared again. Smoke came faster from its nose. Eli stood up quickly. Hey, it's okay," he said. "We need to hide." Footsteps echoed in the distance. Guards. Security drones. Eli grabbed his cart and pushed it in front of the storage crate, hiding the dragon child behind it. The dragon curled up, holding the toy close. Eli stepped back just as two guards walked past the door. "Did you hear something?" one asked. "Probably rats," the other replied. "This place is full of secrets." They walked on. Eli let out a slow breath. He looked back at the dragon child. "You stay here," he whispered. The dragon looked at him with wide eyes. Eli did not know it yet, but far above, in a dark control room, cameras had already seen everything. And the dragon child he helped belonged to the most powerful being in the entire facility. The dragon who should not exist. Eli did not sleep that night. Even after the guards left, even after the hallway became quiet again, his hands still shook. He sat on the cold floor near the storage crate, listening to his own breathing and the soft sounds coming from behind the cart. The dragon child was still there, alive, silent, watching him. Eli slowly turned his head. The hatchling's golden eyes glowed in the dark. Not bright, controlled, like it was trying very hard not to be seen. "That's smart," Eli whispered. The dragon tilted its head as if it understood. Eli stood up carefully and checked the hallway. Empty. No footsteps. No drones. But the warning hum earlier meant one thing clearly. Someone knew something was wrong. "You can't stay here," Eli said quietly. The dragon hugged the toy tighter. Eli noticed something new. The dragon's scales were not smooth everywhere. Some parts looked burned. Not battle burns. Clean, careful marks. Like someone had tested heat limits. Power limits. Eli clenched his jaw. "They hurt you," he said. The dragon made a low sound. Not a cry. More like a tired answer. Eli looked around the storage room. Old equipment. Broken crates. Emergency vents. No cameras inside. Probably ignored by security. For now, Eli made a choice. He pulled a cloth from his cart and laid it on the floor. Then he sat down, slowly, so he did not scare the child. "My name is Eli," he said. "I clean things. Fix broken stuff." The dragon blinked. Eli pointed at the toy. "Like that." The dragon looked at the toy, then at Eli, then carefully pushed the toy toward him. Eli smiled. "Thank you." That was when Eli felt it. The air changed. Pressure. Not heavy, focused. The dragon child's scales glowed brighter for 1 second, then faded again. The lights above flickered in response. Eli's heart skipped. "That wasn't normal," he whispered. The dragon looked down at its claws, almost ashamed. Eli understood. "You're trying to hide," he said. "From them." The dragon nodded. That scared Eli more than fire ever could. Because hiding meant fear, and fear meant danger. A sharp mechanical sound echoed through the hallway. Click, click, security drones. Eli stood fast and pushed the cart closer to the crate. "Listen to me," he whispered. No fire, no noise. The dragon pressed itself flat against the floor, wings tight, toy under its shin. 2 drones floated past the open door, their red lights scanning slowly. Eli stepped forward on purpose. "Maintenance," he called calmly. "Broken panel check." The drones paused. One scanned his badge. Then they moved on. Eli waited 10 full seconds before breathing again. When he looked back, the dragon was staring at him differently now. Not just trusting, studying, like it was learning. Eli rubbed the back of his neck. "Yeah, I'm scared too." Minutes passed. Then the dragon stood up. Slowly, carefully. It walked toward Eli. Each step made the floor hum quietly, like the station was reacting to its presence. The dragon stopped right in front of him. Then it placed its small claw on Eli's chest. Eli froze. Images flooded his mind. Fire, stars, huge shadows flying through space. A massive dragon wrapped around a planet. And a voice. Deep, old, angry. "Where's my child?" Eli gasped and fell back. The dragon pulled its claw away fast, frightened. "I'm okay," Eli said quickly, breathing hard. "I'm okay." But he wasn't. He had just felt something ancient, something powerful enough to crush the station like paper. And that power lived inside this small, shaking child. Eli understood the truth. "They're not scared of you because you're weak," he said softly. The dragon looked up. "They're scared because you're too strong." The dragon's eyes filled with light again, brighter this time. The walls creaked. Eli raised both hands. "Hey, easy. You're safe. I promise." The glow faded. Somewhere far away, an alarm activated silently. In a high-level control room, a figure watched the footage frame by frame. The dragon child, the human, the touch. The figure's eyes narrowed. "That's impossible," the figure said quietly. Back in the storage room, Eli made another dangerous choice. "I can't leave you here," he said. "They will find you." The dragon stepped closer. Eli swallowed. "I don't know how," he continued, "but I'll help you." The dragon leaned its head against Eli's leg. That simple action sealed everything. Because at that exact moment, the station's system updated a hidden file. Subject status: active. Power level: unstable. Human contact: confirmed. And one final note appeared on the screen: prepare retrieval. Eli had no idea, but the moment he fixed a broken toy, he became part of a war he did not know existed. The facility that lied. The lights in Sector 9 dimmed without warning. Not dark, controlled. Eli noticed it immediately. The dragon child lifted its head, scales glowing faintly again, reacting before any alarm sounded. That alone told Eli something was very wrong. "This place just changed modes," Eli whispered. The dragon's tail curled tighter around the repaired toy. Eli stepped toward the doorway and looked out into the hallway. The white walls now carried thin blue lines of light, running like veins through metal. That system only activated during level black operations, something normal workers were never told about. Eli's chest tightened. Level black meant containment. He pushed his ear to the wall. Voices. Not guards. Scientists. Energy spike confirmed. Subject is still inside Sector 9. Do not damage the asset. Asset. Eli clenched his fist. He looked back at the dragon child. The little creature's wings trembled, but its eyes were calm now. Not scared. Alert. Like it remembered something. "You know this place?" Eli said slowly. The dragon nodded once. That single motion sent a chill through Eli. Before he could speak again, the dragon raised its head sharply. Its eyes fixed on the ceiling. A deep vibration rolled through the facility. Not sound. Presence. Eli felt it press against his bones, heavy and distant, like a storm moving through space. The dragon child whispered. Not in words. In Eli's mind. "They are awake." Eli staggered back. "You can talk?" he whispered. The dragon shook its head, then pointed upward. Eli followed its gaze. Beyond the metal ceiling were layers of reinforced glass, energy fields, and observation decks. He had cleaned them before, never knowing what they were for. Now he understood. This place was not a factory. It was a cage. A sudden announcement echoed through the sector, calm and polite. "Attention, all personnel. Please remain at your stations." Eli recognized the voice. The CEO. The man no one ever saw for long. The man whose office was never empty but never occupied. "Unauthorized biological movement has been detected," the voice continued. "Security teams are responding." Eli whispered. "They mean you." The dragon did not deny it. Footsteps thundered closer this time. Heavy boots. Not guards. Hunters. Eli grabbed the dragon child without thinking and pulled it behind a tall equipment rack. The dragon did not fight him. Instead, it placed a claw against the floor. The metal beneath them softened like warm wax. Eli's eyes widened. "Stop," he hissed. "You'll give us away." The dragon pulled its claw back instantly. The floor hardened again, smooth and perfect, as if nothing had happened. Eli stared. That level of control. "They didn't just test you," he whispered. "They trained you." A shadow passed under the door. A scanning beam swept the room. Eli held his breath. The beam stopped, right on the dragon. The child's eyes flared bright gold. Time slowed. The beam flickered, then bent, curved away. Eli watched in shock as reality itself seemed to move aside for the dragon child. The scanner passed without detecting anything. Eli almost laughed in disbelief. Then the dragon collapsed. Eli caught it just in time. The child was breathing fast, weak. Using power costed something. Eli pressed his forehead against the dragon's. "Easy. Don't do that again." The dragon's mind brushed his again. "They fear me. That is why they hurt me." Eli swallowed hard. "Who are they?" he asked. The answer came in images. Rows of tanks. Dragon eggs suspended in light. Some glowing. some dark, and one massive shadow behind glass, chained in energy. The shadow opened one eye. Eli gasped. That's your... He couldn't finish. The dragon nodded. Father. The sound of a door opening cut through the moment. A tall man stepped inside. Clean suit. Calm face. No weapon. But the pressure in the air doubled. The dragon child shrank back instantly. Eli stepped forward. The man smiled politely. You shouldn't be here, the man said to Eli. This sector is restricted. Eli recognized him now. Not just the CEO, the owner. You found something that doesn't belong to you, the man continued, eyes never leaving the dragon child. Eli felt anger rise. He's a child, Eli said. The man's smile faded. He is a weapon, the man replied. The dragon growled low. The lights cracked. Eli stood his ground. No, Eli said firmly. You made him one. For the first time, the man looked surprised, then amused. That changes things, he said softly. Behind him, the floor split open. Energy restraints rose like glowing chains. Eli realized the truth too late. This was never about hiding. It was about who would claim the dragon first. And far above the station, something ancient shifted in its sleep. Something that had finally felt its child. When power notices a human. The chains did not touch the dragon child. They stopped in the air, shaking, cracking with light. The tall man's calm face changed for the first time. Just a little. But Eli saw it. Fear. The dragon child stood up slowly. Its small body trembled, but its eyes burned bright gold now. The toy hung from one claw, forgotten. The air grew heavy, hard to breathe. Machines around them began to fail. Screens went black. Lights burst one by one, showering sparks onto the floor. Eli felt pain behind his eyes. This was not fire. This was pressure. Enough, the man said sharply. The chains pulled back at once. The dragon's glow faded, and the weight in the air lifted. The child swayed. Eli rushed forward and caught it before it fell. Easy, Eli whispered. I've got you. The dragon leaned into him. That was a mistake. Every camera in the sector zoomed in. In control rooms across the facility, alarms lit up silently. Data streams flooded screens. Human-dragon contact, deep link confirmed. A woman's voice spoke through hidden speakers. Cold. Precise. This should not be possible. The tall man straightened his jacket. His calm was back, but his eyes were sharp now, studying Eli like a problem that refused to solve itself. You're not special, the man said. You're maintenance. Eli looked up at him. Then why are you scared? Eli asked. Silence. The dragon child lifted its head and placed its claw on Eli's shoulder. The floor groaned. Metal bent inward. Eli felt something move inside his chest, like a door opening. Images rushed into his mind again, faster, clearer. Dragons flying through burning skies. Cities bowing. Stars breaking. And one truth burned above all others. Humans were never meant to stand this close. Eli gasped. The man took a step back. Separate them, he ordered. Walls shifted. Panels slid open. Automated turrets rose from the ceiling, humming with power. Eli turned his body slightly, placing himself between the weapons and the dragon child without thinking. Don't, he said. His voice was calm. That scared everyone. You will move, the man said. Eli shook his head once. No. The dragon child pressed closer. Its heartbeat echoed through Eli's bones. Slow, strong, ancient. The turrets locked on. Then they powered down. Every single one. Control rooms exploded with shouting. That's impossible. Manual override failed. Power systems rejecting command. The tall man stared. You did nothing, he said to Eli. Eli swallowed. I know. The dragon did. The child raised its head and looked straight at the man. And for the first time, it spoke aloud. Not loudly, not angrily, but every word shook the room. You're not my keeper. The man's face went pale. You were never supposed to speak, he whispered. The dragon stepped forward. Each step left cracks in the floor. You hurt me, the child continued. You hit me. You feared me. Its eyes burned brighter. I remember. The man backed away. You are unstable, he said quickly. You will destroy everything. The dragon tilted its head, then looked at Eli. Its voice softened. He did not. The meaning was clear. Eli felt tears sting his eyes. "That's right," he said quietly. "You don't need to be alone." The man's jaw tightened. "So that's it," he said. A human broke years of control with glue and kindness. He tapped his wrist. The facility shuddered. Far below them, something massive shifted. Deep, chained, angry. Eli felt it through the floor. The dragon child froze. Fear returned to its eyes. "Father," it whispered. The man smiled thinly. "You want to leverage," he said. "I kept your father alive." The dragon screamed. Not with sound, with force. Windows shattered across Sector 9. Walls cracked. Gravity twisted for a split second. Eli was thrown against a console. Alarms screamed openly now. The man shouted, "Containment teams!" Full lock, but it was too late. The dragon child stood in the center of the room, glowing like a small sun. And somewhere beyond the stars, something ancient answered. A presence so vast that space itself seemed to pull inward. Eli struggled to his feet, heart pounding. He looked at the dragon child, then at the breaking facility, and finally understood the truth. This was no longer about hiding a child. This was about what happens when power chooses a human to stand beside it. The moment humans should run, the facility began to tear itself apart. Not explode. Obey. Walls bent inward as if listening to a deeper command. The floor pulsed once, twice, like a heartbeat waking after a long sleep. Eli forced himself up, ignoring the pain in his ribs. The dragon child stood at the center of the room, glowing brighter now, its small frame wrapped in light that looked too big for it. The toy dragon lay at its feet, untouched, forgotten. The tall man shouted orders into his wrist, but his voice was lost in the rising hum of power. "This level is compromised. Seal Sector 9. Steel doors slammed shut across the hallway. Too late. The dragon child lifted one claw. The doors screamed as they twisted apart like paper. Eli stared. No effort. No anger. Just will. "That's enough," Eli said, stepping forward. Every head turned. The child froze. Eli reached the dragon slowly, careful not to frighten it. He knelt in front of it, ignoring the cracks spreading under his boots. "Listen to me," Eli said softly. "You're not a weapon, and you're not alone." The glow flickered. The child looked at him, eyes full of fear and confusion. "They hurt Father," the dragon whispered. Eli nodded. "I know. They will hurt you," it added. Eli smiled weakly. "That part, I'll figure out." The floor shook harder now. From deep below, a roar echoed through the structure, not loud, but endless, like a sound with no beginning. The man staggered back. "That containment was built by dragons," he muttered. "It cannot break." The dragon child turned its head slightly. "That is why it will." Eli felt the truth in those words settle like stone. Power like this didn't rage. It decided. Red warning lights flashed as the station's AI finally spoke in a broken voice. Core integrity failing. Evacuation advised. Guards ran. Scientists screamed. The man turned toward Eli, desperation breaking his comm mask. "You don't understand," he said. "If the father is released, entire systems will burn." Eli stood up. "Then maybe you shouldn't have chained him," Eli replied. The dragon child placed its claw into Eli's hand. It fit perfectly. The moment their skin touched, the station went silent. No alarms. No hum. No movement. Time felt paused. Eli gasped as the world flooded his mind. He saw the past. Dragons arriving from the dark between stars. Humans hiding, then standing, then fighting. He saw treaties written in fire and blood. And finally, fear. Fear of one dragon who would not kneel. The father. Eli pulled his hand back, shaking. The child looked at him with something new now. Respect. "You see," the child said. "They lied to you too." A crack split the floor from end to end. Light poured out. The man fell to his knees. "You cannot choose a human," he said to the child. "It breaks the order." The dragon stepped past Eli. Already did. The ceiling collapsed inward, not falling, but folding away as a massive shape rose from below, surrounded by chains of pure energy. One eye opened, bigger than a shuttle, older than the station. The roar that followed did not shake the room. It shook space. Eli dropped to one knee, breath stolen from his lungs. The dragon child stood tall now, light fading, power controlled. "Father," it said. The chains screamed as they tightened. The ancient dragon's gaze moved slowly, then stopped on Eli. Eli felt like the universe itself was judging him. The child spoke again. "He protected me." Silence. Then, impossibly, the massive head lowered. Just slightly. A sign of acknowledgement. The man whispered in horror. That human just survived a dragon's judgment. Eli didn't feel brave. He felt terrified, but he didn't step back, because some moments are bigger than fear. And this was the moment when the universe quietly changed its rules. Humans were no longer outside the story. They were standing in the middle of it. The bow no dragon was supposed to make. Silence ruled the broken sector. Not fear-filled silence. Not calm silence. Respectful silence. The ancient dragon's massive eye remained fixed on Eli. One blink felt longer than a lifetime. The air around Eli pressed inward, heavy with judgment older than planets. Eli's legs shook, but he did not move. The dragon child stood beside him, small hands still wrapped around Eli's finger. "Say nothing," the child whispered into his mind. "Just stand." Eli obeyed. The chains around the ancient dragon burned brighter, reacting to its rising power. Energy fields screamed as they tried, and failed to tighten. The tall man crawled backward, terror finally breaking him. "This isn't possible," he muttered. "Dragons do not lower themselves to humans." The ancient dragon's gaze shifted to him. The man froze. Fear poured off him like heat. Then the ancient dragon did something no one had ever recorded. Its massive head lowered. Just a little. Not submission. Acknowledgement. The room shook as every dragon in the facility, hidden, disguised, watching from afar, felt it at the same moment. Across the station, hidden chambers opened. Dragon eyes snapped wide. A single truth echoed through their blood. A human has been recognized. Eli's breath caught. He felt something settle into his chest. Not power, not magic. Responsibility. The dragon child stepped forward. "He did not kneel," the child said. "He did not fear me. He fixed what was broken." The ancient dragon's voice filled the room, deep and slow, spoken directly into minds. "That is why he stands." The chain shattered. Not exploded. Shattered. Fragments of glowing energy faded like dying stars. The station screamed as systems failed across every level. The tall man screamed louder. "You will doom us all," he cried. "Humans will demand power. They will turn this against us." The ancient dragons, I narrowed. "They already do," it replied. Eli turned toward the man. "You made this worse," Eli said quietly. "Not him. Not me." The man's mouth opened, but no words came out, because the truth hurt more than fire. The dragon child looked up at its father. "I chose him," the child said, "as guardian." The ancient dragon went still. That word carried weight. Guardian. Old laws stirred. Laws written before stars learned to burn. The ancient dragon considered Eli again, longer this time. Eli felt memories brushing his mind. Kindness without reward. Courage without weapons. Choice without power. The dragon spoke once more. "Then he will be tested." The floor beneath Eli vanished. He fell. Not down. Away. Space unfolded around him. Stars spun. Time bent. Eli floated in darkness, alone. Then shapes appeared. Worlds burning. Humans screaming. Dragons ruling. A voice whispered from everywhere. "Would you stand if we fall?" Eli's hands clenched. "Yes," he said. Another vision. Dragons hunted. Children taken. Fear winning. "Would you stand if humans fear us again?" Eli swallowed. "Yes." Final vision. The dragon child dead. The universe silent. "Would you stand alone?" Eli screamed the answer. "Yes." The darkness shattered. Eli slammed back onto the cracked floor, gasping. The dragon child was beside him instantly. The ancient dragon lifted its head. "Then it is done." The tall man collapsed completely. "You can't," he whispered. "A human cannot carry dragon law." The ancient dragon's voice hardened. "He already has." Across the galaxy, ancient systems awakened. Treaties shifted. Warning spread, because something unheard of had just happened. A human had passed a dragon trial, and the universe would never see him as small again. What the universe remembers. The station did not fall apart. It bowed. Systems shut down one by one, not from damage but from surrender. Lights dimmed to a soft glow. Alarms died mid-scream. The chaos ended as if someone far greater had placed a hand over the entire facility and told it to be still. Eli stood in the center of it all, breathing hard, chest burning. He felt smaller than ever, and yet heavier. The ancient dragon's presence filled every space, every thought. Not crushing now, measuring, remembering. The dragon child stepped forward, no longer glowing, no longer afraid. Just a child again, small, steady, holding a repaired toy. He stayed, the child said, when he could run. The ancient dragon's great eye closed for a long moment. Then it spoke, not just to Eli, not just to the room, but to the past. So did we once. The words rippled outward. Across the station, hidden dragons shed their human forms in shock. Scientists dropped to their knees. Guards lowered weapons they knew were useless. The tall man, once powerful, once untouchable, sat broken on the floor. "You can't undo this," he whispered. "Humans will hear about it. They will demand. They will remember." The ancient dragon interrupted. Its gaze hardened. "And that is worse for you." The floor shifted, not violently, purposefully. Eli watched as the man was lifted by unseen force, carried away toward containment. Not a cage, but a cell built for minds that feared losing control. Justice, not revenge. The dragon child turned to Eli. "You will leave," it said gently. Eli blinked. "Leave?" The child nodded. "You do not belong to cages. Not ours. Not theirs." The ancient dragon lowered its head again, closer this time. So close Eli could see scars older than history etched into scales like broken constellations. "You fixed what was broken," the dragon said. "Not the toy." Eli swallowed. "I just did what felt right," he said. "The dragon's eye softened. That is why you matter." The station's walls opened, revealing a launch bay filled with light. A small transport waited, simple, human-built, untouched by dragon tech. A choice. The dragon child stepped closer to Eli and pressed the toy into his hand. "So you remember," the child said. Eli's throat tightened. "I won't forget," he promised. The child smiled, a real smile, small and bright. Then the child stepped back. Light wrapped around the ancient dragon and its offspring, folding space like a curtain closing on a stage. Before they vanished, the ancient dragon spoke one final time. Not loudly, not proudly, but clearly. "Tell them this. When we feared humans, we tried to control them. When we trusted one, everything changed. And then they were gone." The station powered down completely. Eli woke hours later in a quiet medical bay. No chains, no guards, just a simple badge resting on the table beside him. It no longer said maintenance. It said liaison. No rank, no authority, just responsibility. Weeks later, rumors spread about a station that shut itself down, about dragons who stopped hiding, about old treaties being rewritten in open light, and about one human, a nobody, a cleaner, who did not fight, did not kneel, did not run. He fixed a broken toy and reminded the universe of something it had forgotten. Power does not choose the loudest voice or the strongest hand. Sometimes, it chooses the one who stays gentle when standing beside gods.